Jay from Team DMA coming at you with another video. So this video is going to be regarding explaining floowandereeze. Now, even though floowandereeze had a lot of power lost to it because of the statue, there's a lot of people that don't know that they still play statues. They just play different variations of that say you can't special summon. But floowandereeze is a notorious deck for scaring everyone. They hate floowandereeze. One of the main reasons why is because they can't beat it. They can't beat any of the floowandereeze profiles. So just doing a really quick recap on the floowandereeze. So floowandereeze players, common cards that they play, evenly match is a staple in floowandereeze. So also is Dark Ruler No More. You also play trap cards that they're able to search that are like skill drain, but they're searchable. So you can activate no effects. And on top of everything, they activate Shifter, which means any cards that go into the graveyard are banished. And then they also have access to stop your extra deck, because a lot of people don't realize floowandereeze is actually a main deck. It doesn't need the extra deck. So they also sometimes shut down your extra deck by either activating the dimension barrier, or just about any card or anything that stops you from special summoning from the extra deck. They'll put it out on the field. And sometimes they also activate remove from play spells and traps, because they're not affected. When stuff goes to remove from play, their effects activate and they just come back to your field, but all your cards are getting removed and stuff like that. So to put it in short, all the cards that play only affect you and they don't affect them. So in the Dark Magician community, they are terrified of this deck. They haven't been able to beat it. And through the years, I think since 2021 is when I started hearing a lot of the Dark Magician community complain about this deck. Even famous YouTubers, I have personally contacted famous YouTubers and they've testified, like straight up said, even the call that I had the other some time ago with that famous YouTuber, even he admitted that he can beat floowandereeze. There's been a lot of number of people, even students that I've taught, even people that have come and gone from Team DMA Discord, they all say the same thing. And what is the same thing? They can't beat floowandereeze. And in reality, floowandereeze is one of the weakest decks. So if you look at the stats of floowandereeze has been, I believe, 3 to 4 times, or it could be even more, first place nationals, undefeated. It's not like it got up there struggling or a grind. No competition. Basically, your cards are removed. That kills all the Dark Magician decks, because the ref, everything dies. The Dark Magician decks are dead. They don't stand a chance. And then on top of all that, the barrier, and then they play a lot of evenly matched. They actually do 3 of them. And then they have a lot of spells to tribute your cards, and then they can blow up your whole backfield. They can negate the special summons, and then they have cards that chain, and in the end they have cards that are unaffected by battle. And it's pretty much tough for people to beat this deck, because if you count it all in total, you're looking at somewhere to 5 to 6 negates every turn, and they can consistently keep that up. Like, you have to consistently deal with that. And then on top of that, they have access to searchers that can pop your back roll. So like Dark Magician players, they stand no chance at all. Like, when you have a Dark Magician deck and you're dueling against floowandereeze, you're wasting their time. You're wasting your own time, because there's no way you can beat them. Some people have even gone as far as to show duels. They never even touch floowandereeze deck. So if you know this channel, you know that here, it's the other way around. Floowandereeze is one of the weakest decks against the AC 130. And I was the original guy who found out in early 2021 that there can only be one murderous floowandereeze. How do you know this is true? You're going to have to go back 3 years into my videos and see for yourself. So out of all the duels I've had with floowandereeze, I think I've had somewhere around 80 duels with floowandereeze or more easily. I think I've only lost to floowandereeze twice in those 80 duels. I'm sure I did more than that, maybe somewhere around 90 duels, or somewhere approximately like 30 matches, something like that. And I've only lost maybe twice, and that wasn't a full match. It was only a single. The full matches I've never lost against the floowandereeze. And I have videos uploaded, because a lot of people thought that I was lying. Like, I was mentioning what I said right now, and people challenged me on the what's it called, on the comments. And I was challenged by 6 different people with first place nationals floowandereeze that do 6 to 7 negations per turn. You can't special summon, no effects. They pop your back row, they tribute your cards. Shifter, no extra deck, like that, like violent. And I have proof, because I have the videos. I think I have 4 or 6 videos like that you can see that they play all the cards in the same turn, not next turn, not one turn, not second, third, no. all of the above, like 6 negations to 7 in one turn from the beginning. You can't do anything. And that doesn't affect our deck at all. Even Dark Ruler No More and Drop This, all that, it doesn't affect our deck. It doesn't affect the AC 130. If you doubt it, leave a comment and then I'll upload the 6 videos, the links on this one, so that you can click on them and see it. There's going to be around, when you sit down and count it with your fingers, there's going to be around 8 to 9 negations. It doesn't affect us at all. So the way you do that is understanding Floowandereeze and how it works. Basically, to make a long story short, all it is they're just playing a bunch of cards to negate you, but you need to maneuver around it. So because you already know all that even before you start, kind of like if you go to work and one of the roads is blocked, you can either be there like the rest of the people and you're stopped in traffic and you're late to wherever you're going, or you can look at the future with maybe like checking out the news or an app that tells you traffic jams, and from there you can take a different road. So that's basically all that's happening. It's very simple. So now that you know you can't send anything to the graveyard, they're gonna pop the back row, they're gonna be special summoning like crazy. You can't banish anything. Some of the cards don't die by battle. All your effects are gonna be negated. Your back row is gonna be popped, and you're like, wow, that sounds wild. Yeah, you can't special summon all of those things. What happens is you have to prepare for it. So how do you prepare for it? The AC 130 was made to completely obliterate them. So we're gonna take a look here. I'm gonna be quiet and we're gonna just go look at the duel. Rod, Circle, Souls, Pitch, the Dark Nation Grove. Now why did I do that? Because on some of the profiles that they play, they actually remove from the graveyard, so I don't want to get that. I don't want to take the hit. Search, Crawley, Draw. So at this point, you're probably thinking like, oh, Jay, you played it wrong. You played your hand wrong, and you might be wondering like, why didn't I do it just a duel and then a review? Because there's no need. Floowandereeze is one of the weakest decks, and I'm telling you guys, this is no joke. They established 9 negates. Count them. Like, get a piece of paper and a pen, and write down the negations that you see. And like I said, write in the comments so I can give you the videos that I'm talking about. They're their first place nationals undefeated. They never lost even a single. They were just winning all their matches. No losses at all. It's incredible. And when those profiles come to the AC 130, it turns backwards. We lose none against it, and they surrender, they lose connection. There's a reason why, because you need to know what they're playing and how to maneuver around it. So even though the field looks like they're going to pop everything and finish, there's nothing I can do, that's actually wrong. We have everything under control, and we maneuver one way or another, we're going to get what we want, regardless of what deck we're dueling against. So you already know what's going to happen here, I'm guessing. So at this point, what we have here is there can only be one. So that's going to be pretty much it. That's pretty much a wrap. So usually we have a card in the hand to omni-negate, because they usually start popping the back, or like a Dark Ruler No More, or they're going to be going into Evenly Matched or stuff like that. But I decided to set it face down because it is Floowandereeze, and I'd rather just take the hit with whatever they're going to throw at us, and go from there. So there you go, the Dark Ruler No More. He's going to start his combos. We're going to go ahead and trigger that there can only be one, and they're fully aware of what's going to happen. Basically, they lost already. So in order to escape it, they're going to chain their spell, and they're going to remove it from play, and then from there it chains them to draw another card. And guess what they're going to do? Obviously, they're going to be summoning. And from there, we're going to go ahead and follow up with the effect of, what's it called, of... there can only be one, and from there we're going to be sending Crawley to the graveyard, and that automatically triggered the effect of Rod. So I did pop Dragoon. Why? You might be wondering why. Because what these guys like to do is you can't activate the Eternal anymore because there's a spellcaster, so you want to out the Dragoon. He's worthless. A lot of people don't know Dragoon's worthless. Like people, like especially Dark Nation players, tell Dragoon's the best. Dragoon wins all of those. They're lying. If they were telling you the truth, then ask them this question. If Dragoon's so good, how come you can't beat Floowandereeze? And that goes for branded players and everybody. They can't beat Floowandereeze, I know. So this isn't making fun of no one. It's just asking an honest question to receive an honest answer. The answer is because they don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't know how to maneuver. So you don't need Dragoon. He's trash. So that's exactly what we did. We got rid of him. So at this point, usually they set cards in the back, or they'll end up activating their evenly matched. Yeah, they end up activating their evenly matched, and then they go from there. But the other thing that they do, they set the cards face down in the back, or they'll try to pop a card. So since I didn't see any of that, I'm waiting, and there was nothing activated. So from there, we chained. You don't want to banish the monster because they'll come back anyway, so we banish the spell. So at this point, what's going on right now is you can't let the turn go one more turn. If you let the turn go one more turn, you don't know how to play Dark Magician. And people are going to argue and say, I exaggerate, I'm too hard on people, I'm too hard on the Dark Magician community. And they have no clue that what I'm telling them is the truth. So here's a card that all the Dark Magician players hate. Everybody tells me not to play it. They tell me it's a stupid card. I give these cards away for free, and people still don't want to take them. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing an AC 130 special combo. So what you're going to be doing is linking up into the dragon. That opens up the special combo from the AC 130. You're going to go ahead and hit the restage. Activate the effect. Special summon. What we're about to do is going to be wild. Draw 2, chain. Draw a third one. Activate. Normal. Search something. And you're going to be looking at your graveyard. And guess what's there? That's right. Both of them are there. So you're ready to draw 2. So we're going to go ahead and activate the effect, draw 2. Activate that, get the illusion. Activate the illusion, get the apprentice. They have evenly, they have evenly in, what's it called? In their, they have evenly in their hand. So you can't, if you're planning to go past this, you lost, it's over. So you might be wondering like, why did I attack with Imduk, you know? And the answer is because we don't need him at all, because I don't have another Dragoon, because I was fixing the deck for GoldenEye, so I took one of them out, but I usually have 2. Since I didn't have one, I didn't want to go into Dragon Knight at this point, because I have the right hand, and I know what I'm doing is going to negate the next spell that they're going to try to play. It's going to burn it, I'm going to banish, and it's going to be OTK anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. Even if he tries to activate evenly, we're going to try to go past the 8,000 of attack. In this case, we have to go 8,500, but we should be able to hit more than 9. Attack, attack, chain, attack, chain again, attack. And that's going to be the duel. Now, in any case, if I would have had the other Dragoon, the way that you end it, like let's say you're afraid, because some people ask me like, I'm afraid I can't finish the life points, what do I do? So what you do is before you end your battle phase, you want to enter Dragoon. So you attack, chain to special fusion, and then attack. And then you bring Dragoon, and then once you end the battle phase, they're going to trigger evenly, and then you chain Dragoon's effect to negate it. That's the way that you do it. So in the follow-up turn, you have the Omni negate with the Dragoon. And that's going to be pretty much it. You're going to negate that. You're going to negate the first spell, and then you can take the battle damage. It doesn't matter. You just remove whatever card they're going to bring. The monsters, you want to leave them alone because they're going to come back anyways. The only ones you want to banish are the ones that say that they can't be destroyed by battle. Those you can't banish, and they're not going to be coming back. So before people attack me and say, oh, you're dumb, you should have brought the Dragoon. Actually, you're wrong, because at the end of this sequence, you can bring the Dragoon back out. A lot of people don't know that. So how do you bring out the Dragoon? So all you do is you go into your extra deck and you go ahead and make the Celine. And then from the Celine, you bring the Dragoon back out onto the board. So what happens from there, in case you have a Dark Magic attack, you can chain the Eternal to get Dark Magic attack for discard material. And then this is talking about if you don't have any discard material, you chain it to get Dark Magic attack, and then when they summon something you don't like, you can chain the Celine to bring Dark Magician out, and that's going to trigger the circle and banish. So you don't need Eternal Soul for that. Celine will do it. And then Dragoon is on board for the Omni Negate, and then they usually try to play their last spell to get rid of the whole field, and it doesn't work because they have the right hand will burn it. Even if they play Super Poly, it'll burn it. It doesn't matter what they play, it'll burn it. If you're worried because they might end up playing like a feather, so what you want to do is negate all the first spells let them play all the first spells and burn them, negate them, and then in the end they'll have to be forced to play the feather. If they don't want to play, they'll save it to next turn, but it doesn't matter because at that time your negations will all be ready all over again. So they're not going to be able to do it. The other route to do it, because I gave you 3-4 examples, the other way to do it would be to bring Dragon Knight so that you can just forget about everything at all. Nothing's going to happen anymore. Those are 3 to 4 or 5 different options I gave you, but it doesn't matter because Route 1 is a win, Route 2 is a win, Route 3 is a win, Route 4 is a win also. And I'm sure people have more routes, like 3-4 different more routes, but none of those things matter because the only thing that matters is that you win. So no matter what route you take, you're going to win. And if you slow down the videos, they're violent combos and they're all precise and you're doing it all with bad intentions to where there's nothing they can do. It's a negation plus, it's a negation with the Dragoon, Omni, and then an Omni for the spell calculated, and then a banish. And then you have material in your hand, you're going to be drawing some more. Our deck has plenty of cards, 22 cards. We have so much more things that we can do. You can even bring more Omni negates on the board so you can do your 9 because your opponent's not going to be doing anything. Those cards that he has in his hands, they're all going to be negated. And the other videos that I have with the first place nationals, that's what I did exactly. I did 6 negates. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but they're wild. They play Dark Ruler, I negated. Super Poly, I negated. And no matter what they were playing, they summoned. I think I changed there can only be one. And then they tried to attack or something, and they triggered the. Then I activated the circle and banished, and they tried to face something face down. In my next turn, I was ready. I just feathered it. And even if they try to activate something, just use Dragoon to negate it. There's nothing they can do. At that point, they start realizing that they're wasting your time, and they're wasting their time, and then they just disconnect. They don't want to deal with that anymore. And none of these plays are accident. They're all calculated. You do it all the time, and then you can escape the shifter. I've taught people how to escape the shifter. You just keep everything in the hand, and that's the way you do it for the bestial. So if you're playing Master Duel and you're having issues, that's what you have to do. You have to stop relying on the graveyard so much and start doing it from your hand onto the field. Why is that helpful? Because when you start playing against decks like Necro Valley or decks like Bestial and Master Duel, they're banishing everything. Once you start practicing the way that I teach you, you're gonna start noticing your win rate is going to increase. Like you're winning 50% of your duels because you're taking my advice. Your duels will go up to 80%, and that's the number you want. If you can do more than 80%, good for you. But the goal is 80% is what you want, because those are what the first place nationals do overall. And you might be wondering, well, if it was first place nationals, how come it didn't lose? It should be 100% wrong. Because once they come to somebody who really knows how to play and can establish 6 to 9 negates, those first place nationals are trash. And that's why channels like mine exist that show you those combos. That no matter what they do, you can maneuver. So the video's gone long enough. If you have any questions or concerns regarding Floowandereeze, especially now that it's a bit weaker with the statue, but for me, the statue never gave me issues. It's always been nothing. The way that people refers to this deck, this is how much they hit this deck. They say the stupid birds and the stupid penguins, but I have nothing to do with that. I like penguins and I like birds, and actually I like the Floowandereeze. But however, I have to put it in its place with the budget Dark Magician deck. So with that having been said, you guys, God bless, take care, and Dark Magic attack.